The Hounds' last stand, the death of Ireland's greatest warrior. A standing stone rises from the plain of Muirthemne. 3 meters of Bronze Age rock, silent against the Irish sky. On this morning, County Louth, sometime in the 1st century, a warrior ties himself to this pillar, not with rope, with his own entrails. Blood pools at the base, his sword remains raised, his eyes are open. And for one full day, an entire army refuses to approach. They wait, they watch, they whisper. Because no one can tell if Cú Chulainn, the Hound of Ulster, is alive or dead. This is how legends end, not with surrender, not with collapse, but standing upright, weapon drawn, even as life drains away. The question isn't how he died, it's how anyone managed to kill him at all. The warrior who shouldn't exist. Go back 27 years. A woman named Dictine, sister to the King of Ulster, disappears on the eve of her wedding. She vanishes into what the Celts called the Otherworld, a realm where gods walked and time moved differently. When she returns, she's pregnant. The father, some say the sun god Lug himself. Others whisper it was the king's doing, a secret too dark to speak aloud. The truth dissolved into myth long ago. But the child is born. They name him Sétanta. From the beginning, something is wrong with this boy, or right, depending on how you see it. At age 5, he defeats 50 boys in combat games at the royal court. He catches wild deer with his bare hands. He yokes them to his chariot like horses, alongside swans he's plucked from the sky. The other children fear him. The adults watch him with a mixture of wonder and unease. Then comes the night that gives him his true name. Culann the blacksmith hosts a feast. King Conchobar accepts, forgetting to mention the boy who's supposed to follow. When Sétanta arrives late, Culann's guard dog attacks. This isn't a pet. It's a war beast, bred for killing, considered unbeatable by every warrior in Ulster. The boy is 6 years old. He catches the hound mid-leap, crushes its skull against a stone with one hand. The blacksmith weeps. That dog was worth a kingdom. It was the only thing protecting his home, his forge, his life's work. Sétanta kneels before him. The words he speaks will echo through centuries. I will be your hound until you can raise another. The druid Cathbad, the boy's grandfather, watches this moment. He speaks the name that will survive the fall of kingdoms, Cú Chulainn, the Hound of Culann. The boy accepts it. He doesn't know what he's accepting. That same druid will, years later, make a prophecy. Any boy who takes up arms on a certain day will achieve eternal fame, but his life will be short, brutal, and end in agony. 7-year-old Cú Chulainn overhears this. He takes up weapons immediately. When Cathbad protests, the boy's response is simple. If I achieve fame, I care not whether I live for a single day or 100 years. Hubris, or the clearest vision of purpose in all of mythology. The answer will cost him everything. The warrior woman and the forbidden weapon. At 15, Cú Chulainn is already a problem. He's so beautiful, so gifted, that the men of Ulster fear he'll seduce their wives. They search all Ireland for a match for him, but he refuses everyone except Emer, daughter of Forgal the Wily. Forgal sees this courtship for what it is, a disaster. He devises a plan to rid himself of this arrogant boy without the political cost of direct refusal. Train with Scathach, Forgal suggests. The warrior woman of Alba, the Isle of Shadows, prove yourself worthy. It's a death sentence disguised as a test. No one survives Scathach's training. Cú Chulainn sails to Scotland. What happens on that island is the stuff of warrior legend. Scathach is not just a teacher. She's a force of nature, a woman who commands an army, who moves through combat like water, who has forgotten more about killing than most warriors will ever learn. She teaches him everything. The salmon leap, fighting while suspended in midair. The thunder feat, a battle cry that freezes enemies in terror. Sword techniques that have no names because no one else can perform them. And she gives him the Gí Bolga. The description of this weapon sounds impossible. It's made from the bones of a sea monster. When thrown, preferably with the foot while in water, it enters the body as a single point. Then it expands. 30 barbs rip through internal organs. It has to be cut out, piece by piece, often killing the victim during the extraction. Cú Chulainn is the only student Scathach ever trusts with this weapon. There's another student there, Ferdiad, son of Damon. He and Cú Chulainn become foster brothers, closer than blood. They learn side by side. They become equals in all arts of war. Except two. Ferdiad has horn skin, a magical protection that makes him immune to ordinary weapons. Cú Chulainn has the Gi Bolga. They swear they'll never fight each other. The universe will break that promise for them. Cú Chulainn returns to Ireland with weapons, skills, and something else. Jisa, magical taboos, rules that give him power as long as he follows them, death if he breaks them. He must never refuse food offered by a woman. He must never eat dog meat. The contradictions are built in from the beginning. The trap is set before he even knows it exists. The Tain, one man against an army. The Tain Bo Cuange, the cattle raid of Cooley, the war that makes Cú Chulainn immortal. Queen Maeve of Connaught wants a bull, the finest bull in Ulster. She raises an army and invades. But Ulster's warriors are cursed, struck down by a magical affliction that leaves them helpless, writhing in birth pangs, unable to fight. Only Cú Chulainn is immune. He's 17 years old. He faces the entire Connaught army alone. For months. The terms are ancient, sacred, single combat at the fords, one champion at a time. Cú Chulainn stands in the river and kills whoever comes. He defeats 100 warriors. He fights in his battle frenzy, the Ryastrad, where his body warps into something inhuman. His flesh twists. One eye bulges from his skull while the other retreats. His hair stands rigid, sparking with bloodlight. Friends and enemies alike cannot tell him apart from a demon. Then Maeve sends for Ferdiad. The foster brother, the equal, the man who swore never to raise arms against Cú Chulainn. Maeve seduces him with wine, promises her daughter Findabair, preys on his pride. She tells him Cú Chulainn has been mocking him, calling him a coward. It's a lie. Ferdiad knows it's a lie. He goes anyway, honor demands it. They meet at the ford. For 3 days they fight. Between bouts they embrace. They share food. They tend each other's wounds. By night they remember their training, their friendship, everything they were. By day they try to kill each other. On the 3rd day, Cú Chulainn sees no other option. He calls for the Gi Bolga. His charioteer floats it down the river. Cú Chulainn faints high. Drawing Ferdiad's shield up, then he picks up the spear between his toes. The throw is upward, through the water. It enters through Ferdiad's anus. The barbs explode through his torso. Ferdiad dies in Cú Chulainn's arms. The hero's grief is absolute. He carries the body from the ford. He speaks a lament that the bards will remember for 1,000 years. Beloved Ferdiad, woe is me. Our last meeting brings me sorrow. Yesterday you were taller than a mountain. Today you are less than a shadow. This is the moment Cú Chulainn's death becomes inevitable, not because of prophecy, because he has made too many enemies, caused too much grief. And one of those enemies is a goddess. The Morrigan's prophecy. During the Tain, something happens that seals everything. Between battles, a beautiful woman approaches Cú Chulainn. She offers her love, her aid, her body. She's the Morrigan, goddess of war, fate, and death. When a goddess offers herself, refusal is dangerous. Cú Chulainn refuses. His words are blunt, cruel. I have no time for women, I'm here to fight. The Morrigan's response is calm, too calm. Then I will hinder you when you fight. She transforms. An eel trips him in the water. A wolf stampedes cattle across the ford. A white heifer leads the chaos. 3 times she interferes. 3 times he wounds her. Later, an old woman appears, bleeding from the exact same wounds. She offers him milk from her cow, 3 drinks. After each, he blesses her. With each blessing, 1 wound heals. When she's whole, she reveals herself. You said you'd never heal me. Cú Chulainn's reply is bitter. Had I known it was you, I never would have. The Morrígan smiles. It's not a kind smile. I will be at the guarding of your death. She doesn't say she'll cause it. She says she'll witness it. For a goddess of fate, that's the same thing. Years pass. Cú Chulainn marries Emer. He has a son with another warrior woman, Aoife, though he doesn't know it. That son, Culann, will come to Ireland seeking his father. Bound by Gisa not to reveal his name or refuse a challenge, Culann will fight Cú Chulainn. The boy's skill is extraordinary, unnatural. Too late, Cú Chulainn recognizes the fighting style, Scathach's techniques, his own techniques. He kills his son with the Gí Bolga. Culann's last words, we would have carried Ulster's banner to the gates of Rome and beyond. This is not a story about heroism. This is a story about the cost of being chosen. The trap closes. Queen Maeve never forgives the humiliation of the Táin. For years, she broods, she plots, she gathers allies. Lugaid Mac Conroy, son of a king Cú Chulainn killed, the 6 children of the druid Calatin, whose father Cú Chulainn slaughtered, Urk, son of another fallen champion. They train in dark magic, they learn sorcery in distant lands, Babylon, Alba, places where the old powers still teach forbidden arts. Maeve waits for the perfect moment, when Ulster's warriors fall under the curse again, when Cú Chulainn is alone. King Conchobar sees the danger. He tries to keep Cú Chulainn safe inside Emain Macha, the royal fortress. For 3 nights, it works. Then Calatin's children use their magic. They create illusions of battle outside the walls, sounds of clashing swords, screams, Ulster burning. Cú Chulainn strains to leave. His warrior's instinct is screaming, but Conchobar holds him back. So the king moves him to a place called the Valley of the Deaf. It's magically silent. No sound enters. No illusion can reach him there. For a moment, it seems like it might work. Then one of Calatin's daughters disguises herself as Niam, Cú Chulainn's friend. She enters the valley. She tells him Ulster is falling, that he's needed immediately, that his honor is at stake. Cú Chulainn goes to harness his horse, the Grey of Macha. The horse refuses. It turns away 3 times. Tears of blood run down its face. This is a magical creature, it knows. Cú Chulainn forces the yoke on anyway. His wife Emer begs him not to go. She has a vision of flames, of death, of her body thrown over the ramparts of their home. He goes anyway, because he always goes, because that's what heroes do, because the gas of honor is stronger than love, stronger than wisdom, stronger than prophecy. On the road to Muirthemne, he sees a woman washing armor in a stream. The armor is his. The stream runs red with blood. It's the Morrígan, the death washer. Her presence at a stream means one thing: someone is about to die. She doesn't speak, she doesn't need to. He continues on his journey. The breaking off of Gisa. 3 old women crouch by a fire at the roadside. They're roasting meat over rowan branches. The smell fills the air. One of them calls out to him, "Great warrior, share our meal." Custom demands he accept. Hospitality is sacred. To refuse is to mark yourself as dishonorable beneath a warrior's dignity. He stops, he looks at the meat. It's dog flesh. The gas against eating dog meat is absolute. His name is Cú Chulainn, the Hound. To eat dog is to consume his own essence, his totem, his power. But the gas against refusing food from a woman is equally absolute. 2 sacred rules, mutually exclusive, a trap with no escape. The women mock him. What kind of hero can't accept a simple meal? Perhaps the stories are exaggerations. Perhaps you're not as great as they say. Pride, honor, the weight of reputation, all pressing down. Cú Chulainn takes the meat. He tries to compromise. He places it under his left thigh, thinking he can satisfy the gas without fully eating it. It doesn't matter, the damage is done. His left side goes weak immediately, the arm that held his shield, the leg that stabilized his stance, half his power drains into the earth. The three women laugh, then they shift, their forms melting like smoke. It's the Morrígan, all three of them. She's fulfilling her promise, I will be at the guarding of your death. He knows what this means, he continues anyway. The three spears. The armies of Maeve wait on the plain of Muirthemne. Lugaid Mac Conroy stands at their head. He holds three spears, magical weapons forged specifically for this moment. A prophecy accompanies them. A king will fall by each spear. Cú Chulainn charges in his war chariot, driven by his loyal charioteer League. They've fought together for a decade. League knows every movement of his master's body, can anticipate every strike before it's thrown. Lugaid throws the first spear. It strikes League in the chest. His entrails spill onto the cushion of the chariot. With his dying breath, League speaks, "Bitterly have I been wounded." Cú Chulainn pulls the spear free. League dies in the chariot. The prophecy is fulfilled. A king has fallen. League, king of charioteers. Cú Chulainn takes the reins himself. Today I am both warrior and charioteer. During the fighting, a satirist emerges from the enemy lines. In Celtic culture, satirists wield terrible power. Their mockery can destroy reputations, curse families, ruin lives. The satirist demands the second spear. "Give it to me, or I will revile you. I will make songs about your cowardice. Your name will be a joke." Cú Chulainn cannot refuse satire, cannot bear the shame. He throws the spear to the satirist. The satirist immediately gives it to Lugaid. Lugaid throws. The spear strikes the grey of Matcha, Cú Chulainn's beloved horse, the magical creature that has carried him through 100 battles. The horse screams, blood pours from the wound. It breaks free from the yoke and gallops away, half the harness still attached, leaving Cú Chulainn alone. Second king fallen, the king of horses. The satirist demands the third spear. Cú Chulainn knows what will happen. He knows the prophecy. He throws the spear anyway, because honor demands it, because reputation is everything. Lugaid catches it, takes aim. The third spear hits Cú Chulainn in the abdomen. The barbs tear through his intestines. His entrails spill onto the chariot cushion, mixing with League's blood. Third king fallen, the king of warriors. But Cú Chulainn does not fall. The pillar stone. He's alone on the plain, his charioteer dead, his horse fled, his guts exposed to the air. The armies close in. He speaks, his voice carries across the battlefield, "Let me go to the lake, let me drink." They grant this, it's a warrior's right, a dying man deserves water. Cú Chulainn walks to the lake, he drinks, he washes himself, he tries to push his intestines back into his body, but they keep falling out. He knows he's dying, but he will not die lying down, will not die on his knees. He sees the standing stone, the ancient pillar erected thousands of years before by forgotten people for forgotten gods. He walks to it, he takes his belt, his breast girdle, and uses it to tie himself upright. Then, grotesquely, he uses his own entrails as additional binding, weaving them around the stone and his body. His sword remains raised toward his enemies. He faces them, eyes open, weapon ready. This is the image that will echo through millennia, the dying warrior who refuses to yield, the hero who chooses how his story ends. The armies stop, they watch, they whisper. No one approaches, because Cú Chulainn's reputation is such that they cannot tell if this is a trick, if he's baiting them, if he'll somehow summon one last burst of strength and slaughter them all. For a full day, he stands there. Some say the grey of Matcha returns, circling him, protecting him. The magical horse kills 50 men with its teeth, 30 with each hoof, before collapsing from its wounds. But still, no one is certain. Then a bird lands on Cú Chulainn's shoulder. A raven, black feathers, blood-red eyes. The Morrígan keeping her promise. Only then do the warriors understand he is gone. Lugaid approaches, carefully, sword drawn, ready to spring back if this is a trap. He reaches for Cú Chulainn's hair, pulls it aside, raises his blade. As the head separates from the body, something happens. Light flashes from the corpse. The sword falls from Cú Chulainn's dead hand. It falls precisely, impossibly, and severs Lugaid's hand at the wrist. Even in death, the hound draws blood. Aftermath and vengeance. Cannol Cernac hears the news. Cannol, another Ulster champion, had sworn an oath. If Cú Chulainn dies before him, he will avenge him before sunset. He rides out immediately. He finds Lugaid, still clutching Cú Chulainn's head with his remaining hand. They fight. Cannol, in a gesture of fairness, tucks one hand into his belt to make it even. But Lugaid is already weakening from blood loss. The fight drags on. Cannol cannot land the killing blow. Then Cannol's horse, perhaps sensing its master's need, leans in and bites a chunk from Lugaid's side. That's what finally ends it. Not skill, not honor, but a horse's teeth. Cannol beheads Lugaid. He takes both heads, Lugaid's and Cú Chulainn's, back to Ulster. The head of the hero is reunited with his body. They bury him with full honors. The women of Ulster cut their hair. The men fast for 3 days. Queen Maeve survives. She lives for years after, ruling Connaught, never forgetting that one 17-year-old boy held back her entire army. Eventually, she too dies, killed by Ferdiad Ferbend, Cú Chulainn's nephew, while she bathes in a lake. The cycles of vengeance continue long after the heroes are dust. The pillar that remains. The stone is still there. Clochafamor, the stone of the great man, 3 meters of rock rising from Irish soil in County Louth. You can visit it, stand where Cú Chulainn stood, touch the stone he died against. For centuries, the story was told by Sínchai Irish storytellers, carrying the tale from village to village. The monks wrote it down in the 11th and 12th centuries, preserving what oral tradition had maintained for 1,000 years before. During Ireland's fight for independence, murals of Cú Chulainn appeared on walls in Belfast, Dublin, Derry. Both sides claimed him. Nationalists saw him defending Ireland from invaders. Unionists saw him defending Ulster from the south. The 1916 Easter Rising rebels placed a statue of the dying Cú Chulainn in Dublin's General Post Office. It's there today. The inscription reads, "I care not though I were to live, but one day and one night provided my fame, and my deeds live after me." A 7-year-old boy's words, carved in bronze, becoming a nation's defiance. But strip away the politics, strip away the symbolism, look at the story itself. A man bound by impossible rules, given power and fame in exchange for an early, brutal death, losing everyone he loves, forced to kill his best friend, accidentally killing his son, betrayed by gods, manipulated by queens, trapped by sacred oaths he cannot break. And at the end, consciously choosing, to die standing up. That's not just Irish mythology, that's the human refusal to surrender, the choice to control what can be controlled when everything else is chaos. Cú Chulainn doesn't survive. Heroes in Celtic mythology rarely do, but he decides the terms. He writes the final image. An entire army, paralyzed by a corpse tied to a rock, because the legend was so strong that even death couldn't immediately diminish it. That's power of a different kind. The stone still stands. The river still flows past the plain of Muirthemne. Ravens still circle overhead, black shapes against the grey Irish sky. And if you listen closely, you might hear the echo of chariot wheels, the clash of bronze on bronze, the voice of a boy who chose fame over long life and got exactly what he asked for. Cú Chulainn died at 27. But the Hound of Ulster is still standing.